Alright everyone, hello, I am UnsungNPC back here with another Pillars of Eternity class video for you. Today we are looking at the Monk class. Very excited for this because monks are, I feel like, very powerful in Pillars of Eternity and very fun to play. And like in Pathfinder, in D&D, in any of that, I honestly don't like monks. I don't like the way that they work. I don't like how in Pathfinder they have to be a specific alignment or any of that crap. I'm not a big fan of the monks, but the way they work in Pillars, I feel like is a lot more fun, um, and it's just like some of their moves are so cool. Pillars also has a lot of cool, well animated like moves that the monks can do, and the subclasses in Pillars 2 are also really cool. But we're in Pillars 1 right now, so here we go. They have high endurance, very high health, very high accuracy, very high deflection, which just seems incredibly ridiculous. +1 stealth, +2 survival, +1 athletics, right? They have transcendent suffering, so when no weapons are equipped, monks' unarmed attacks are exceptionally powerful. And then wounds, so as monks take damage, their pain generates wounds, and the wounds are what you spend on abilities that the monks can do, which is a really cool system that I don't think any other game does. So I love it. Alright, let's look at these to see what exactly they do here. So, transcendent suffering. Oh man, this is such a weird. Why are they ordered this way? Okay. Transcendent suffering, let's start with this one. Okay. It gives you additional unarmed damage. Monks achieve greater understanding of their body's capabilities through enduring the hardships of existence. Unarmed damage starts much higher than other characters and increases permanently every 3 levels they gain, going on to Transcendent Suffering 2, 3, 4, etc. Alright? So that's how that works. Now, let's take a look at these different abilities, and then they've got talents down here as well, which is cool. Alright, so first, let's take a look at Flagellant's Path. Flagellant's Path, so you pick a target, and then you're going to do crush damage to them. So you shoot with blinding speed towards their target, striking every enemy within 2 meters of the target, ignoring engagement and disengagement attacks, and gaining a bonus to all defenses during the movement. A successful hit to the enemy causes a reduction in all of their defenses. So you hit the enemy as well as everyone around the enemy, and then you're ignoring anyone who tries to hit you on the way there, and you get a boost to your defenses as well. Then if you get a successful hit, the enemy loses their defenses, which is really cool. This is like cost 3 wounds, level 11 ability. Don't ask me why the book orders all of these talents incorrectly. It's driving me insane in every single video, but it keeps happening. Level 11 ability. Don't try to look for this at the beginning. It's not there. You've got Turning the Wheel. So you're able to channel physical pain into pure energy. So while you have wounds, you're able to add fire damage to your melee attacks. This is cool because you can take the Scion of Flame talent, that's like a anybody can choose talent, and increase that 5% burn damage, because Scion of Flame works on all fire attacks from any source. So you'll be able to do even more burn damage, which is awesome, because who doesn't like Fists of Fire? Alright. We've got Rooting Pain. So this one, I love this ability. I really do. Generates a shockwave around the monk each time he or she gains a wound, inflicting a small amount of damage to and possibly calling an interrupt on all enemies in the AoE. So, in a little radius around you, when you take a wound, you'll generate this shockwave that does crush damage and also possibly interrupts everyone around you, which is just awesome. I love that ability so much. You've got, and that's just the passive ability. Like that's just ongoing. You take it at level 7 if you want, and then you have that forever. You have stunning blows, 2 per encounter. It's just stunning the enemy. You make a successful hit, and then the enemy is stunned. Very nice. It's kind of like the fighter's knockdown, except instead of proning them, you're just making them stunned. But it's a nice 2 per encounter ability. Love that ability. Torment's Reach. Costs 1 wound. This ability exploits the shared bonds of universal suffering between all beings. The initial target is hit with a powerful blow that does additional crush damage, and then enemies in a cone behind the target suffer crush damage and have their might reduced. So you're hitting the first target, and then in a cone behind them, those people take damage and then also have their might reduced. So they're going to do less damage and healing and whatever else they're doing all around, which is cool. And then you've got Swift Strikes. I also love using Swift Strikes. It just costs 1 wound, and you can use it as much as you want as long as you have the wounds to pay for it, and it just increases your attack speed. So you're just like punching, and then you use it, and you're just like... And I love attacking fast. I like attacking fast and attacking accurately. That's my favorite. Okay, great. Force of Anguish. A powerful attack that knocks the target back a significant distance, and target bumps others out of the way and bounces off hard surfaces like walls. It can bounce off walls? Okay, I didn't know that. Did not know it could bounce off walls. That's going to be fun to try. But they do end up prone, and they do push others out of the way. And when it says significant distance, it is significant. Like, it really pushes them away from your character. Everyone kind of, like, splits, like, you know, whatever, to make room for them. So everyone kind of gets out of your way, and then they fall down. But I really want to try hitting them up against a wall, because that sounds fun. Clarity of Agony. Duration for hostile effects. Okay, so you're able to cleanse your body, reducing the duration of incoming and existing hostile effects by half. And you can use that twice per rest. So if someone's doing something to you that's like an ongoing effect, you can decrease the time that that effect is doing stuff to you by half, which is really nice. Really nice ability there. Enervating Blows. So you're attacking certain points on an enemy, you're able to inflict physical weakness. Melee critical hits cause the targets to become weakened. And this is just a passive ability. So anytime you get a crit after taking this ability, you weaken the opponent, which weakened is less might, less con, less move speed, less fortitude, less will, I guess. So that's pretty cool. Crucible of Suffering, another passive ability. You gain temporary insight through endurance, gaining a temporary bonus to fortitude, reflex, and will anytime that a ongoing hostile effect expires. That can pair really nicely with Clarity of Agony, because you can reduce the time it takes to make the hostile effect go down, and then you get those nice bonuses to all your defenses. Soul Mirror reflects half of any ranged missiles targeting only the monk back to their point of origin. So people shooting arrows at you, people shooting guns at you, and only you reflect half of those back to people, which is Just a really sweet ability. Long stride increases your movement speed. Obviously. Transcendent suffering too. Now we have these abilities. Duality of Mortal Presence Deflection gives you 8 deflection. And it's a modal. And then there's a modal that gives you to 8 to all your defenses except deflection. So you can pick which one of those you want to activate, because you can only have one of them activated at a time. So pick which one you want. It'll depend on what they're trying to attack you with, but you could also just choose whichever one you're lacking. If you're lacking deflection, choose deflection. If you're lacking one of the other defenses, choose the other defenses, right? These are talents, apparently. I don't know why they did both in here, but they did. Okay. Lesser Wounds is one of the first passives you should take as a talent if you can, because what it does is it lowers the monk's wound threshold, which allows you to gain wounds at a faster rate. Basically, that means like it makes it to where it takes less for you to gain wounds. So it takes less damage for you to gain wounds, so you can gain wounds faster. You've got Lightning Strikes. Modify Swift Strikes to do damage as shock as well. That's cool. And you can pair that with the anyone can choose talent that gives you bonus to shock damage. So then you also have like better shock damage. That would be really cool. Fists of Lightning that goes super fast. That's really sweet. Mortification of the Soul. This affects... Oh, it's just a talent. You just get these 3 per rest. Oh, this just gives you a wound. So basically, 3 times per rest, you can just give yourself a wound by inflicting raw damage on yourself. It does hurt you, but it gives you a free wound if you need it. Which is pretty sweet. And then here we have the White March ability. So first we have Iron Wheel, which gives you a damage reduction per wound. So every time you get a wound and you hold those up, you're giving yourself damage reduction, which is pretty powerful. I think like if your monk is in a tougher spot, don't spend your wounds on abilities and just stack up on wounds so that you can increase your damage reduction and take less damage from the enemy. The Dichotomous Soul. Basically, this ability is super fun. It creates 2 duplicates of the monk, one made of flame and the other one of ice. They use unarmed strikes as well. They have their own stats independent of the monk, which includes attributes, defenses, and accuracy. The flame duplicate affects enemies with soul burn, which deals burn damage per 3 seconds on hit. So yeah, you just summon a fire and ice monk version of you, and they just go out and also attack people while you're attacking people. So there's just 3 of you, which is just freaking sick. That's so cool. You got Skyward Kick, which lands, like you shoot, the character flies up in the game and they fall down prone, which is super fun. It's just a fun ability. What's really fun is when you do Force of Anguish and knock someone back and make them prone, and the next guy that comes up do Skyward Kick and make them fly up and go prone. You're just like, you're prone, take you out fast, and just yeah. Resonant Touch, used in conjunction with a passive ability that gets applied to enemies when dealing damage. So successive strikes increase the intensity of the resonance. At a time of the monk's choosing, you can cause the resonance to inflict devastating raw... Okay, so your attacks on an enemy generate resonance, and then you're able to activate this ability and cause raw damage per resonance to the enemy that you're attacking. That's a pretty cool build-up move. I like that a lot. That's really cool. You can only use it once per encounter, so like be kind of cool to like use that partway through the fight, build up that resonance, and then at closer to the end, kind of just kind of like unleash it and just take them out. That'd be fun. I haven't really used that ability before, so that would be cool to play with. But yeah, this is the monk. They also work well with the athletic skill to get second wind ability and just have that good healing anytime you need it. Because monks, they hit fast and they hit hard, but they can go down easy still, so you have to be very careful. Unless, of course, you just build up your iron wheel, then you're good to go. But monks are super fun to play in this game. I've played one in Pillars 2. Like, I had a character that was a Cypher in Pillars 1, and I made him a Cypher monk in Pillars 2, and it was a lot of fun. I love the monk in this game. And when I do my playthrough for this channel, I will probably play a monk. Just because they're freaking sweet. Or I'll play a character that becomes a monk in Pillars 2. However it goes, I'm not sure. But I love this class. So yeah, athletic skill, survival would be good so that you can camp and get those damage reduction bonuses. What other skills might be useful? I don't know. You can use lore, but I think athletics and survival are key skills for the monk. In my opinion, you can do whatever you want. You want your monk to have mechanics and be the monk that takes things down, like traps and doors and stuff. Go for it. You do you. Have a good time. Have fun with it. Build something crazy. And tell me about it. Whatever you guys build in these games, I want to hear about it all the time. Feel free to comment. Tell me about your character. I always reply when I can, so I would love to hear about your characters and your stories. So please do. Yeah. Whether you're a new or a veteran player, I hope this video was helpful to you. Hope you learned something about the monk's abilities. Very fast damage dealing class right here. So hopefully this made you want to check it out. The abilities are super cool. So definitely give it a try. And yeah, I'm UnsungNPC, and I will catch you guys in the next one.